Qualifier Sports. We'll be breaking down Game 2 of the Toronto Maple Leafs versus Columbus Blue Jackets. A much better game than Game 1. But that being said, there's still stuff that leaves concern. But Evan, take it away.
Good win. 3-0. You can't complain about getting a victory in the playoffs. Never easy. If I'm trying to pick out any negatives, or if I'm looking at the game objectively, I'd say Columbus really didn't offer anything. It was poor from Columbus, and it's really the second game they did that. Columbus in Game 1, they had that one chance, and it kind of just went under the glove. It was a shot that Anderson usually saves. So I would say Columbus hasn't offered anything offensively, but their game plan has been, try to nick one like they did in Game 1, and it didn't work. Today, the Maple Leafs played well enough, but I think the issue is Columbus really didn't bring their A game. It's a good win overall, though. Austin Matthews with a great deflection to finally open the scoring in the second period. I was thinking, when was it going to happen? It took a while. I kept fearing the worst, that Columbus was going to get a 1-0 win somehow, until they finally got that goal. But good goal by Matthews, Tavares, then squeaking one under Corpusalo, and that really ended the game. Columbus offered nothing throughout any of the periods. I think I forget what the shot total was, but they were heavily outshot. I don't think they even hit 20 shots, Columbus. Every period, Toronto was much better. They finally got that goal in the second period, and it was enough. Austin Matthews had the game winner. And we live to fight another day, because we would have been facing elimination, probably not getting out of a 2-0 hole. So it's a brand new series. Now it's a best of 3, and that's all I can really say. Just looking at that game, wasn't perfect, wasn't great play, but it was good enough from Toronto. And Columbus never had that threat of scoring, just like Toronto didn't have that threat in Game 1.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think the biggest difference is that we see these players get scoring chances, even for like players like Marner, who still hasn't scored. You see him taking chances. You see him like putting in the effort offensively. You see him like really make plays and like be part of the offense. And I think the shots total says it all. I think Leafs way more than doubled the shot total of Columbus. We took chances. We were an offensive threat to them, and then we were able to like defend their own as well. We limited the amount of shots that Columbus was able to take, and overall, very solid game by the Leafs. I think, like you said, that deflection from Matthews was something to like really give us a breather, and then Tavares, of course, that breakaway kind of like gave even more security, and of course, the empty net by Morgan Riley. So I think overall, like this game was definitely a confidence booster, especially coming off Game 1. I think it really looks like the team as a whole woke up this game. It seems like they're kind of like still coming out of that quarantine phase in Game 1, and then now they're really in the league. They're really actually playing the game, and it was nice to see.
The one thing I'd say is I think Toronto and Columbus have been the two slowest teams as a collective. I think their games have been the poorest out of quality-wise out of some of the other series. I've caught most of the games, or at least one of the games per series. There's been a lot of sports, a lot of watching sports since it came back. It's almost like a junkie getting his fix. Sports fans have been missing this for a while, and we're all happy for it to be back. And it looks like they're executing it really well in the bubble. But out of all the hockey games, I think Toronto and Columbus have been the two the worst quality-wise, kind of skill-wise. I think it's been a slow start. I think other teams have found their footing a little bit quicker. Stars are playing like stars in most series. But besides that, Matthews got one, Tavares got one, Will Marner got one. I think Marner was better than Game 1, but he couldn't be much worse. He still was missing some easy passes, just not on the right chemistry. When you're in rhythm, when you're in sync, you're hitting the stick, it's tape to tape. And I think Marner's just missing that accuracy, and it's kind of slowing down play and allowing Columbus to get back. Toronto's at their best when they have quick passes and it's accurate, and they're flying down the ice, getting odd man rushes, getting these breaks. We saw Tavares get one. Columbus overcommitted. They sent 5 guys. Puck comes up the board and John Tavares is gone. Gets the second goal, which basically sealed the game. So there has been improvement. Toronto did create a lot more chances. I felt, more excited. this game than game one. They were rewarded with 3 goals. Again, there's a lot of work to be done. Now it's the best of 3. You got to buckle down. Columbus, I don't think they can play much worse than they did today. Just like Toronto couldn't have played much worse in game run. So it's all to play for. I still believe it's going 5. I said that on a return podcast. I believe Toronto Columbus 5. I have to go with my gut, and I have to go with what I originally picked in Toronto winning in 5. But it's, my blood pressure isn't going to be good watching these next 3 games. Toronto still scares me. They're still susceptible at the back, but I sleep tonight knowing that it's a brand new series.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think the only thing left of concern is, of course, Jake Muzzin's injury.
Mhm.
What happened to him? It didn't look really good. He had left on a stretcher. There was reports that he got admitted into a hospital,
Yep.
and it's such a heavy loss to the Leafs because the Leafs, we all know that the weakest point is their defense, and Jake Muzzin was one of our best defensemen. So losing
Yeah.
him will definitely be a crucial piece.
Jake Muzzin's more of a reliable defenseman compared to some other guys. I mentioned again the other day after the emergency game 1 podcast that Dermott, again in the first period we saw it when Columbus really had nothing going. Dermott 2 or 3 times, just lazy passes, giving it away in front of the goal. Freddie had to come up big early on when really he had nothing to do. Just on their first power play, Columbus also had 2 shorthanded chances. It's just stuff like that. Toronto's always more likely to give up those chances compared to other teams, and that's what always scares me about watching Toronto. You're never comfortable watching them, and even in third periods, they're always susceptible to give up a goal or 2. They don't shut down games well, and losing Jake Muzzin really isn't going to help. Now we're going to have to see probably, I'm guessing it's going to be Marincin, maybe Sandin, but I do believe it's going to be Martin Marincin coming up with Justin Hull. That line's going to scare me because Justin Hull, again, this is only his second year, hasn't played consistently in the NHL. Martin Marincin, I've never trusted. He's an accident waiting to happen. So, Toronto has to hope that Columbus doesn't come out with their A game. You have to keep them in their own defensive end, and you can't have these shifts where they're cycling pucks in deep. These long 1-minute shifts where guys get tired because when you look at the personnel that Toronto has, they're very, very likely to give up goals at any moment. They could score in a hurry. We've seen it time and time again. They're number 1 in the league in scoring for a reason. They do have the talent, but the question is, will they score more than Columbus, and will they make less mistakes? Will they gift Columbus any free chances? And they have to keep it compact, especially now without having Jake Muzzin.
Yeah, that's true. Especially since we all know that Leafs have the talent. The question is, will they capitalize on that talent they have?
Yeah, we haven't seen a series win in the playoffs since 2003. God knows I don't remember that. I don't
04.
remember anything when 2004, but I was 3 years old. So God knows what I remember when I was 3. Absolutely nothing. I'm not going to remember the Leafs overcoming anyone back in 2004. But it's going to be a tight series. It really is. These are 2 fairly even teams. I think Columbus feels more confident because of the fact that they beat Tampa Bay last year, kind of being the wild card. They're more comfortable in the position that they're in. Toronto's been here before, lost a few times, lost to Boston last year, Washington the year before that. So this is their best chance to break the duck. Columbus really hasn't done too much to concern them. They've only scored the 1 goal right under Freddie's blocker, but 1 goal is enough for 1 win. It's 1-1 going into Thursday's game, and there's really all to play for. I think the winner of Game 3 is going to win the series in 5. I think the next 2 games are going to be split. That's just how I feel because there's not too much to separate them. But I stick by the fact that I think it's going to come down to Game 5. But I think the winner of Game 3, that is my prediction, the winner of Thursday's game will go on to win the series. But I'm not a betting man for a reason. I'd be out of money. So there's
It's one of those things you'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's going to be a few bounces here or there. It's going to be who gets that bounce, who doesn't make that mistake again. Columbus really hasn't made any mistakes. Toronto really hasn't been able to capitalize on, a Columbus, giveaway. I'm not really going to call the Tavares goal a mistake by Columbus because it's just an aggressive play. happened to fall to Tavares, and he was gone. That happens in hockey. You can't control everything. Good goal by him, but Columbus just has made the mistakes that Toronto has. Then again, it's 1-1. Toronto, on paper, has more talent. Toronto fans are going to be I sang a lot of prayers over the next few days because we definitely want to see a playoff win. These young Maple Leaf fans, the ones that bleed blue and white, they're waiting just for a series win. We're not even talking about championship, but how many trophies and championships have the city of Boston won in my lifetime? We got the one last year from the Raptors. Okay, the Leafs. Hockey is Canada's sport, and American teams have been dominating it over the last 20, 30 years. Can Toronto I'm not asking for much. I'm just asking, can I get the feeling, the understanding, the belief of a series winning? Can we beat Columbus? That's a big question. I'll let you have your final thoughts and your final say, but as a Leaf fan, I've been down this path before. Even series, going into what feels like a game 5 is really a game 3, but kind of it's best of 3. It feels like what would be a game 5 in normal years.
I mean, you said it all. Like, even though I'm not really a Leafs fan, growing up in Toronto, like I understand how huge this winning a series would be to the city of Toronto, and I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, we have to pray. The city's gonna celebrate like they've won a title if they win a series. And our standards aren't that high. That's what happens. When you haven't won for a while. Any glimpse of hope is what the fans try to catch on to. I'm gonna be sweating a lot. I'm gonna be sitting in front of my TV, praying Thursday night that I can get the little bit of comfort that we could just get that little bit closer to series win. Because if we do it Thursday, we're only one game away. And Leaf fans, panic, but get excited for Thursday night because a lot is on the line for us. That has been the Emergency Game 2 podcast from Toronto. The Maple Leafs, again, are even in the series with the Columbus Blue Jackets 1-1. All to play for. It's a best of 3. I'm Evan Ruenberg. Alongside me again has been Matthew Choi. Thank you guys all for listening.